Brad, Kelly went from unlikely to play to having a good game. Do you think he should play one-on-one with Chavlik before every game?
Well, the question isn't should he play one-on-one, Bill, because he plays one-on-one before every game. I think you got to find a way to play well without, having to get elbowed in the eye before every game. But obviously, I think I just said to Abby in the postgame interview, I think he felt okay. It was more of a vision thing. How well could he see? And he was saying he could see pretty well, and the doctors felt good about him playing. They stitched him up. I think it looked a little worse than maybe it felt, which is good. I think that's an obvious statement. It doesn't look real good, but I thought he played great. I thought he played really well. And hey, we have to take when we play that way. We're going to be a little bit smaller on the interior, but we can play really skilled on the at the end of games like that. And I just felt like if we were giving up twos, but we had the ability to get twos or maybe threes, we were going to be able to hold on.
Brad, this is Evan's third triple-double in just about a month, and also his third career. What is it in your system that is just bringing it out?
Yeah, it's not anything to do with me. I think the one thing is he plays in a lineup where he has the ball a lot, and he's probably never had the ball that much before. As far as playing the point, Marcus can play the point when they're in together as starters. And then, but even today, like Isaiah was in, and with both Evan and/or Marcus, and we put Isaiah off the ball a little bit because that stretches your defense. They have to honor Isaiah at the wing, which sometimes opens up rollers or give him a drive and kick off of a live dribble. So Evan is playing well, but it's not like he's forcing anything. He's just playing good basketball. He's got the ball in his hands a lot.
Coach, just speaking of not forcing things, Tyler Zeller, particularly at the beginning of the game, just seemed to be in the right spot constantly. How do you go about getting that out of him but not really forcing the issue?
Well, we run a lot of things that are around him. It's just a matter of if he's the guy open or if somebody else is pulling in and helping and somebody else is open. So his roles are really important. The way he runs the floor is really important. He's got great hands. He's got that little flip shot that he's very good with. And today we were fortunate because I felt like Tyler gave us one kind of effectiveness against him, and then Kelly gave us a whole different kind of effectiveness against him. But both were very effective.
And also, just the job that you guys did on Hayward really was a non-factor for the most part in the first half. Made a few baskets in the third, but for the most part, he wasn't able to dominate the action.
No, he dominated us the first two games of the year, scoring-wise. I think he might have had 50 combined in the first two games. But we've trapped him a lot more. We've brought traps from different places. We've gotten better at our traps. And, we've also picked our spots where we were just going to play him straight up. I thought everybody played him well, with the exception of a couple fouls here or there.
Coach, was this the type of game collectively that you were looking for, obviously, in terms of effort coming off of Charlotte and keeping guys on track?
Yeah, the effort was really good. We talked about it before the Charlotte game. We have to play with a defensive DNA, and the last two games we have. But it's one of those things like you don't. Now all of a sudden it's not part of who we are. We have to make it part of who we are every day, and that's got to continue to be the emphasis. And I think it's a good emphasis to have because you're focused only on what you can control and nothing else.
Brad, kind of following up on that, the way the team has responded this week and maybe being a little more short-lived excitement, knowing you've got another one on the horizon against another team in front of you in the East on Friday.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I don't sense anything more than business as usual. I know that you guys might hear different stuff when you're in the locker room. You probably spend more time in the locker room than I do, to be honest. But I think it's, guys are just trying to do their jobs well. They're pretty connected. They like each other. They're willing to to be good teammates, and they're working really well. We're not able to practice much, but our shoot-arounds have been good, and my goal right now is to play with a clear mind and play fresh and try to do it as much as we can.
For you guys tonight, it seemed from the very jump, ball movement was really working. I think your first 6 baskets were all via assists. How important is it for you guys to really set the tone in terms of ball movement to be successful?
Well, we wanted layups or threes early in the clock, or we wanted to get it to the second side of the floor because of their length gives you problems if you just keep it on one side. So, I thought the possession of one of the best possessions, or one of my most favorite possessions of the game, was when Avery hit the 3 inside 3 minutes. Multiple people touched it, the ball hit multiple sides of the floor. We drove it, we got paint attack, and then we were wide open after using the clock. It was a great possession, and hopefully we can continue to have possessions like that.
Brad, aside from making shots and obviously going out with like one eye or whatever, what did you like about the way Kelly was playing? It seemed like he was being aggressive.
I thought he was pretty aggressive. He went to the offensive glass a few times, even though he didn't have any offensive rebounds and got fouls. But he was active. He got his hands on balls. Defensively, he got a couple of rebounds, but he also got a couple of little tip outs and kept balls alive that other people corralled. The biggest thing, Adam, is that when he makes shots, he gives us a guy that spreads the floor, and he gives us a guy that can pass. And I think that passing ability is pretty unique for a guy his size. And you can always flash him into the middle and off of pick and rolls or in any other type of defense, and make him kind of a guy you play through. Obviously, we need him to play well for us to be as good as we can be.
Brad, with the games becoming a little bit more and more important as they go, and with the quick turnaround, does it remind you of the NCAA tournament at all back when you coached in any way?
None.
Why not? Why not?
Because all 82 count the same, I guess. I guess we should, I think that's kind of the way that I've always looked at it, is every game carries equal weight and equal importance. Obviously, because of the hole we dug, we've been fighting uphill all year. And so it, adds more, I guess, importance as the time. But nothing's more important than the next game in our world, and we've got to keep it that way. And at the same time, even as we enter these last couple of weeks, I think it's so very important to stay in the moment and take advantage of every day and focus on, again, the things we can control. I think if we get to the point where you play beyond that, maybe I'll feel differently. But maybe this feels a little bit more like late February than it does the NCAA tournament.